Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. This time we're going to be fly fishing. And what are we going to use for fly? Tadpoles. No, not real tadpoles, obviously not. You got frog spawn, these turn into tadpoles, and then they turn into trout, because the trout eat the tadpoles. I don't actually know whether they do feed on the frog spawn or not. I've never heard anything about that, but obviously most of you would have seen tadpoles when they're like a blobby black head and a little wiggly tail like that, and they're just wiggling along, fluttering around like that. I mean, they've got to drive the trout nuts, haven't they? Especially that little twitchy motion, and especially in the springtime, when, you know, spring, early summer, when you do get the water start to warm up, you're going to start to get, well, obviously activity with the frog spawn tadpoles. Now, it's basically just a black blob with a tail, but there's variations, because to attract, if there's thousands and thousands of tadpoles in the water, you want something else to just turn that trout on and maybe isolate your fly. So we're going to be using, I think these are Sydnite ones, I'm not sure, a gold head with a black tail and some tinsel. What you got there, Mike?
It's a similar sort of thing, except I've got a bit of red in the middle.
That's the two flies there.
Yeah.
But as long as you've got black, the main sort of base colour you want for tadpole fishing is black. We've got regular floating lines. We've got leaders, what, 9 feet, I guess?
Mine's a bit longer, but I say, yeah, around about 9 feet.
And you've got fluoro on there, yeah?
This is fluorocarbon on this one, yeah.
And we're both on £6. I mean, this is just regular mono. Let's give it a go. We're down here, lovely spot, heart of Hampshire, at King of Somborne. There's a place called John of Gaunt's Fishery. It's a little known secret. 2 small lakes, one's a bit, you know, larger than the other one. We're going to try the small one first, because it's where the spring comes up through the water, you know, through the ground. The water is very, very clear here. Not a great day. We've got a bit of a breeze. Can't see it on the back. And that black stuff over there, yeah? Bit of rain coming.
Yeah.
We'll try it. We're going to try this first purely because nobody's been up here. Yeah, and obviously we might nail a trout before the other guys even know what time of day it is. Well, it's late. It's totally awesome. Let's get cracking.
So when you're tadpole fishing, don't be afraid to look in the margin, especially on the clear lake like this. It's quite good visibility today, although the cloud is coming over, so that white cloud tends to kill off that visibility a bit. But yeah, like I say, tadpole fishing in the margins, try and get the depth of your fly first. Work out, if you're, especially when you're sight fishing and you can see the fish, just as soon as you get to the lake, if you see one near the margins, just drop it down. You don't necessarily have to catch that fish, but just drop it down right in their face and see at what level, count down the time that your fly is sinking, see what level that fish is going to react at, because you might see a little flare of the fins or the fish change direction towards your fly. That's all you need to know to then see what level the fish is working at. So once you've figured out sort of what depth they're at by looking at them in the margins, cast your line out there, count down that depth, so you know the depth, say 4 seconds, 4 to 10 seconds, something like that. Depends where you're fishing, but count down that depth, and then picture in your mind the sort of speed that a tadpole moves. It's not necessarily a quick speed. So ideally a really small, slow draw of retrieve, or a figure of 8 is a good way, just to keep that constant retrieve, and you've got that constant tension all the time. Keep your rod tip down, close near the surface of the water, so you're more direct with your line, and then just pull into the fish. It's not a strike, you're pulling tight with your left hand if you're right-handed, pulling tight with that line hand, and then just lifting into the fish.
Now, if you don't go trout fishing very often, we've given you this tip before, but it's well worth doing, especially with a floating line, I feel. The line has what's called memory, and that's where it's coiled around the reel. So if it's in your garage or your tackle room for a couple of months, let's say, that memory is stored on the line at the circumference of the reel. And you're fishing away and you get little coily bits on it. And if you're shooting, you want a nice, smooth, slick line going through the rod rings. So what we do, just take 5 minutes, not even barely 5 minutes out of your day when you first start, go out and either pull the line and stretch it yourself, don't snap it, just stretch it, hold, maintain a pressure, just of a few pounds, just to take that memory out of it. Or if there's 2 of you, walk out 20 yards of line, whatever you think you're going to cast, and just ease it, do not stretch it, and that will just obviously take the memory of the reel out. You have a nice straight fly line, hopefully make a good cast and get a trout.
Well, I'm on to my first fish ever here at John of Gaunt's, and I didn't actually see the take. I saw the fish and I saw which direction it was going. I cast about 6-7 feet in front of it to allow for that sort of 4 or 5 second sink of that fly, and slow retrieve again. It wasn't as figure of 8 this time, it was just a slow draw, and yeah, he snapped at it, and it was quite a strong take actually, and it's a nice looking fish, this. Nice looking fish.
So clear, you can see him in the water.
It is lovely and clear.
He is digging for the depths.
You can almost see the fly in his mouth there. Oh, he's going.
Woo! And that was quite a slow retrieve. That was what I'm going to call the tadpole tweak.
Oh, I like it. That's going to cotton on. The tadpole tweak.
He's just going for the bank a lot of the time, isn't he, for the edge?
Yeah. Tell you what, he's got some guts in him.
He's going well.
He is. He's not having it yet, he's not ready. I don't want to pull the hook out. It's quite easy in trout fishing to be impatient and want to lift it straight into the net, but a lot of the time what I've learned is when they get to the net they almost get more energy. They see the net and then they really go. I've had a few lost fish from pulling too hard at the net. He's in! There we go. Lovely looking fish. John O'Gaunts. Really happy with that. Good strong fight. Aggressive take on the slow tadpole tweak retrieve. Great fish. Lovely colours.
I want one now.
Awesome. Literally within 2 minutes of that last fish, I got another fish. The cloud covers, with this cloud coming over, the visibility is changing so much that I'm just casting it out there, retrieving it in, and this one I actually got right in the margins, and a lot of the time I've missed fish that have followed me all the way in, and I've just gone to flick up and cast again, and I've seen them whoosh away, and they follow me all the way into the margins. So a good tip is just to draw your rod up and watch your fly. As you bring your leader in, you see the end of your fly. Just draw your rod up slowly, away from you. You can still have the line in your hand like this and tweak the fly as you're drawing it. And that's exactly how I've had this trout here, right in the margins. I even saw the white mouth snap over my fly. So it just goes to show that as you're drawing in, getting right near the margins, don't ignore them. Don't go and cast straight back out again. Bring it in until you can see your fly enough and that anything behind it is following it. Because if you see it following it, there's a really good chance for you to get a take. That was exactly like I just told you. I was just going to lift that out for a cast. Oh. And the big thing is you can either strip in like this. Okay, you can strip in, keep tight on the trout. If you get a big trout, I don't do that. I don't want to be walking through the bushes, the brambles, the trees and getting snagged up with all that loose line. I like to get it on the reel. The trout obviously doesn't. Man, that was a vicious take. It's tadpole time, folks. Black is the colour. Black rules. Haven't even gone to the main lake. Oh!
Why did I say that? Why did I say it? Oh, it was about 3.5 pounds. Always check your fly, folks. I've lost enough fish, I'm used to it. But I could have clipped on it on the back cast, and that's why I lost that fish. I didn't, it's just trout come off. Live with it. Don't worry about it too much, unless it's over 10 pounds. The hook, I can test it here with my finger, just nicks a piece of skin, just there. It's absolutely sharp. Probably because I was messing around with the camera, I lost it. But shows you, just as you go to lift off with that black tadpole, just make sure a little other tweak, a little bit of a quiver, just impart something to that fly, bam, you can get nailed right at your feet. Can I swear on here? Well, I made up for that lost fish. He says hopefully not going to lose this one. Again, just figure of eighting slowly. Trying to lay the line along the spool while I can. Strip, keep the line tight. Hopefully the fish pulls it out and actually straightens it all out for me. And the sun's come out as well. It's blue sky. The showers have gone through. There's nobody else on the lake. Rainbow. Do you know what else I'm missing? The net.
I'll get it.
There you go, guys. What do you think of that? Blue sky, black Sidnite lure in the jaws, right at the top where he nipped at it. Just look, he nipped absolutely at the top of that. Beautiful fish here at John O'Gaunt's. They are real scrappers, and it's lovely and quiet. And I want to get the line in the water again. Tadpoles rule. Right, we've had a great time down on that small lake, and I've come into the bailiff's fishing hut with Barry, the bailiff here. He's the bailiff of the day. In fact, we've got the whole fishing to ourselves. Everybody's caught their fish and gone. But we want to try the big lake, see if we get 1 or 2 out of that on that tadpole. But there's other flies. Now, Barry, you're the bailiff here. You must be an excellent source. What's the best fly or the fly of the moment?
Right, the fly at the moment is the blue flash damsel. And the fish have got quite a liking for that. The other one is another popular fly.
What size is that, Barry?
They're tied on a size 10.
That's a size 10, yeah?
Yeah. And there's the black pearl. Now the tail was originally made from my collie hair.
From your collie dog?
From my collie dog. I lost the collie dog and then I went on to marabou, which is not very durable. So I then changed to Arctic fox, which is as near as I can get to the original collie dog. The other fly, there's another one from the collie dog, and this is a pink and white. There we go.
Oh, there's quite a lot of pink in that one, yeah.
Yeah, and that I call Meg's Pink Ballerina.
Yeah.
Because Meg was the name of my little collie, which provided the original hair for the tail. And hold it up. There's the body of the ballerina, and there's the pink tutu. That has been a very successful fly, fish deep and slow, especially in the summer.
And what sort of leader would you use for that one?
Well, that I would use a floating line, and you need about 10-12 foot of leader, and put the fly out and watch all the leader disappear before you start to move it.
So depth again is a key.
Count to 10 and then start to move it, and a slow retrieve.
Like a figure of 8 or something like that?
I
just
give a slow steady draw.
Yeah.
Allow it to sink again, give it a quick snatch, allow it to go down again, so all the time it's going up and down it's fishing.
And that snatches out, it's like a little
And
trigger
then,
to them.
then if you just give it a little twitch, twitch, twitch,
Yeah.
and fish the fly right in. So many people lift off way out to recast, and instead of lifting off, fish it right in and then run the rod along and speed it up.
Yes.
And if the fish can see that that's going to get away and they're following it in, they're going to have a go at it.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because Mike said about that in there, and he's only a beginner, and I did just that on about my second cast, and I was drawing it up slowly for the cast.
Yeah.
You know, just lifting it and trying to look where the fly was, and I couldn't see the fly, and then bang, I got one.
Yeah.
I lost it later, but it just shows you that fish followed me all the way in.
They will follow in, and the number of times I've seen people with the rod right up in the air, and all of a sudden you see the rod twitch over, but they've gone nowhere and nothing left to strike the hook into the fish,
To set the hook, yeah.
to reset the hook. So
See?
the fish gets off.
Now that applies not just in the small lake, which as we've seen is very clear, but in the main lake as well, same sort of thing.
Yeah, but the small lake fishes differently in as much as you haven't got the depth. So the fish can't come up,
Yes.
or can't go down, so they whiz off along the lake.
So you're a faster scrap from the fight,
Oh, yeah.
faster fight for
I
it.
find you do. And if you're fishing on the far side of the other lake,
Yeah.
in between the islands, and you get into a fish, they invariably go straight out between the islands, turn left, and that's the last you see of them.
They're gone.
Gone. Yeah. So there you go.
And that small lake, that's good. The springs come up in there, don't they? They got
They're both
spring
spring
water.
fed.
Both spring
Both
fed,
lakes
yeah.
are spring fed. Yeah.
Now I can see some patches of gravel in there, which is clear.
Yeah.
Would that be where the springs are sort of percolating through?
No, the springs come in on the far side, and those patches of gravel, the fish seem to keep them clear. They seem
I
to
see.
rake about in them,
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
scrapes.
And that keeps it clear.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I've
good.
seen nothing else do it other than the fish.
Well, we're gonna soldier on, see if we can't pick a couple out the big lake. What other flies do you have there that we'll catch, you know, throughout the season?
Well, another popular one is this red and black. Red and black always seems to be a good colour combination down here. I'll take one out and put on there for you. There we go. And I always tie with the orange, fluoro orange thread, because I find that gives the thing another trigger point for the fish.
So black and red is a good colour here, yes?
That's a good colour combination. And just for good measure, there is a green and black version of it.
Well, it's got some sparkle to it, that one.
It has got some sparkle, and that's tied with a chartreuse thread.
Yeah.
So there we go,
Now, are those sort of year round? Because you fish year round, would they
year-round.
work year round? Those flies?
year round. A chum of mine fishes with nothing but red and black. Wherever we go on holiday, always starts off with the red and black.
Oh, that's interesting. That's
So
good.
they
Yeah.
work in other fisheries as well. As does that black pearl.
Yeah.
That is, I went up to another local fishery where one of the big fish waters.
Yes.
My wife bought me a ticket for a treat.
Yeah.
Popped that through the water, and the first fish was 9 3/4 pound.
Oh, very nice too. Very nice.
And did enjoy the look of that fly.
Now, why is that pink popular? What, is there a reason? Where did it come from? Were you telling me that America was always popular there?
Well, no, I read an article in a magazine, an American magazine that somebody lent me down here, about how pink excites rainbows. And I decided that they needed excitement here, and so did I. So I just happened to tie that up, and that was all I had laying around at home.
And what is it supposed to look like? Represent the pink? Why would it turn the fish on, do you think?
I'm working on the assumption that it represents eggs.
Oh, I see. Maybe salmon eggs or rainbow
maybe
eggs.
salmon eggs, maybe rainbow eggs. And of course, being the fish that they are,
Yeah,
and they're scooping it up as eggs.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
And I think, oh, we'll have that one.
I don't actually think I've got any flies with pink in them, but I shall see if I can get anything. Endeavour to maybe tie them.
Well, I had a man who had one off of me, tried it down here, and the fish wouldn't leave it alone, so he bought 2 more when he left. He left here, didn't see him for weeks, came back, and he's been out to the Seychelles.
Oh, really?
And he tried all sorts of flies for the bonefish and finished up using that pink, and the bonefish switched straight onto it.
Oh, they wanted it as well.
So it's not just a local fly.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me.
I'm happy with it.
Well, I shall be finding something with pink in it, and fingers crossed we're going to go out there.
Would you like to take one and try one?
I'll tell you what, I will. Yeah, I'd like to try the pink one.
Try the pink
to give
one.
that a go, because the weather looks
Try the
ominous,
pink one.
and it might stand out in that.
Try the pink one.
It might stand out in that
There you go.
little bit of colour that comes across. There he is. Right. Now, don't tell Mike what I'm using. Eh?
And the only hooks I use are Camasan
Camisans,
or
yeah.
Hayabusa. Yeah.
Right. Now, when the tadpole tweak starts to wear a bit thin, and they're not having it, you can change. And before you move swims, before you go around somewhere else, I thoroughly recommend using the same fly, but a totally different speed.
I'm not sure what the actual name for it is, but we're going to call it the speed retrieve or something. Or the
Yeah, speed strip.
Speed strip. All you do is just, yeah, doesn't involve taking clothes off, thank God. So you're casting your line out, tuck the rod under your arm. With two hands, we're going to speed strip as quick as we can, pulling that fly in, and hopefully, because it's something completely different to what they're used to, the old tadpole tweak, this is going to go whoosh, and with a bit of luck, a trout's just going to go bosh.
They might just slam it. They might just slam it. What it is, they're used to that constant tweak, 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 tweak going like that. Okay, they've seen it. They've maybe seen your leader, seen the fly, seen the fish you caught earlier, and all of a sudden, along comes a cruise missile, and they go, rah! Got it. It's worth doing maybe one or two of those, and then move swim. Which you can see if we can bang one out here, and see if we can get one on the speed strip for you.
Tell you what, why don't you comment now and see who gets one first?
I don't like gambling. Don't agree with that. Don't agree
Comment
with
Graeme or Mike. Let's see who's going to get one first.
that. It's me. I'm not competitive at all. And that's a speed strip for you there, guys. Speed. Oh no, I had a pull as well. Oh no. Oh, no.
All that talking.
Double speed strip.
I hope most of you commented, Mike. We did actually move places from over there, but I just got one, as you saw on the camera, from the speed strip, the double hand speed strip. So all those who commented, Graeme, unlucky.
Well, can't even say I was filming, can I? I've got no excuses.
No.
Always take your time when fighting those trout to the net. Don't get too excited and overpower them. You just got to take your time. If the fish wants to bolt away at the last minute, that's when you need to let that fly line slip through your fingers so you don't break it off. Remember, the only stretch you've really got is in that 9 or 10 feet of nylon leader. The rest of the time, the fly line's pretty rigid. It's not going to stretch much at all. Not much of a buffer. The only safety buffer you've got against those fish lunges is the fishing rod. And look at the clarity of this water. It is just unbelievable there. That small lake is superb for dry fly fishing as well. And do you know what? They tell me there you can catch on the dry fly on every single month right through the winter. Happiness is a rainbow trout. And although they look like fabulous filming conditions, I have to tell you, clear water conditions like this with a bright blazing blue sky and sun, not always the greatest fish catching possibilities there. You need to change, and I strip in so fast there, it's a wonder my fingers don't drop off or the line melts in the rod rings. But as you guys can see, that fast stripping, it can work. It's when you fish a slow, tweaky sort of retrieve, the trout have seen it, it's clear water, eventually they get wised up to it. I think they get a bit bored to it, and if you whack it in at subsonic speed, buddy, they are going to nail it. there's another one in the net for Graeme. Another nice John O'Gaunt's rainbow trout. And here we are, back to back fishing on the point. Now, I'm not going to say anything, but just keep an eye on a guy in the red hat. Now that's what you call a leaping, jumping rainbow trout. Great scrappers here at John O'Gaunt's, and look at the lake. We've got it entirely to ourselves. The other anglers on the larger lake, they're also catching, but they didn't for some reason walk up to the clear lake. I don't know whether they figure it's going to be too hard. Well, if the fish haven't been hammered by other anglers, no, it's not going to be too hard. You want to be the first one to put your fly through the water. That way you can check different speed techniques. Do they want it slow? Do they want it fast? Do they want it in long, slow draws? You need to be rotating and thinking with your strips, your techniques, your fly speed and your fly colour all the time when you're fly fishing.
You in? He's in.
That's on the ballerina, everybody. It caught me off guard. I thought, am I going to catch on this? And I sort of, my mind was wandering a bit then. It's going right by the cliff. In close, we've got some deep overhanging bank here. So, Barry's wonderfly tied with the dog hair called the ballerina does actually work. Got to get some of that pink. It's the pink that's making me all excited. You know what the $10,000 question is, guys? Where is it? Oh, it's actually close by. Come on, come on, come on. Don't fall off. Oh, I don't like all that thrashing. Here he comes. Get the net. Notice how Michael, my son's, helping me net this fish. There it is. Fish on the ballerina fly. And do you know what jumps out at me? That pink fly just in the corner of its mouth there. It does, as I've fished in Canada quite a bit, look exactly the same colour as salmon eggs. I'm so excited, I can't wait to get back to the fly tying vise. Beautiful fish, oh, look at that one. Now there's a deep ledge down here, and even with a tungsten bead on the fly, it's not really getting down to fish near the edge of the ledge. So here is a totally awesome fishing tip. Ouch, hooking my finger. Lovely. A totally awesome tip. You can, when you're fly fishing, add some weight by using Now years ago we used to call this plasticine when I played with it as kids, but I think they call it Play-Doh now. But you can take a piece of this off. It's coloured as well, so you can use it, make a little tungsten head on the top, squeeze it around the eye of the fly and the tungsten bead, and for close-in fishing, not distance fishing, you can actually add a little bit of weight and just toss it out, make it a cone shape. I covered the bead up totally. You can get some of the carp people use this, I think they call it dark matter, I think they call it, like a lead based thing. It's not lead obviously. There you go. So I've got colour and I can get down as well. It might just get you that extra fish, bit of plasticine or Play-Doh, away you go. And if you don't catch any fish, just go off into the woods in a corner and make yourself, what, an elephant or a giraffe out of the Play-Doh. Well, I've just come round with a ballerina fly onto the main lake. First cast, and I'll tell you what, I think it's my biggest fish of the day. I do like that pink. Look at that.
That's a nice fish.
Yeah, it's a nice fish, this one, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same size as the one I just had. They're similar, they're bigger in here, definitely.
You can go to music there.
That's a nice one. Really nice colours in that. There's colours in that.
And after a quick picture of that fish, I couldn't resist getting back to that lake, getting the underwater camera down there and just going along the edge of the bank. I mean, it looks like the barrier reef going along there. It is so clear. There's no question the trout can probably see you fly from yards and yards away. And while poking around in the underwater rushes and reed stems, what did I come across next? Yep, looking up from underneath here, you get a real trout's eye view of the surface, and there I spotted a large bumblebee just floating. That's exactly what a trout sees silhouetted against the side. Now you can't tell me it sees colour, because I'm looking up there and all I see is black and a little bit of wing, but that was still alive, that one. So I lifted him out with the camera, put him down in the grass, because I quite like bumblebees, and left him there to hopefully not sting somebody, me especially. So with fish action all the way, Mike was on the other lake, and as you can see there's a slight tinge of colour in it. It's just not quite as clear. There's absolutely no shortage of trout in there, and they're all hard scrappers. So if you want to go fishing, try John o' Gaunt's Lake. It's a regular day ticket fishery. It's a little secret out of the way place, and wonderful fishing there as well in beautiful surroundings. Get those flies out, the tadpoles, the ballerina. I recommend it.